Good GM, everybody. Welcome to the 57th weekly governance call this September 15th, 2022. Hello, everybody. It's been a very busy day today. As I'm sure most of you know, thank you for finding the time to join. I know it's probably hard with everyone with their daily activities, especially today with some of the hecticness that's been kind of going on throughout the DAO and different work streams, I'm sure. Let's see. Let me check stage chat, make sure if anyone has any questions. Okay, we will. It's a little short on people today. I'm not sure if we're going to have the ability to see a lot of people, being that today is a very busy day following the Ethereum merge and some other things that are happening within the DAO. But I'll definitely get started in one moment. There's enough people here. We'll get started, and those who join late can always follow along, as anyone can in the recorded meetings channel. If you ever need to go and find a past recorded event, or if you would like to see the slide deck that follows this call, I will post it there shortly after the call. So if anyone wants to go back and see that, if they're not following along in excuse me, the stream on the Twitch, which is currently live, which you can follow along there if you want to also follow along in the slides, but after the fact is also acceptable. So, all right, everybody, let's start the call here. Quick rundown of the week, the agenda that we normally follow here. For any of the newcomers that might be in the audience, I see a couple new names in the audience. So we usually start with this agenda here. We start out with appreciations. Within this, it gives the ability for myself and others to give appreciations to members within the community. This can happen in a couple different ways. Feel free to post something in the stage chat, and I will try to keep tabs on that and shout that out here on the call itself. You can also raise your hand and be invited up on stage, or some users may be able to just come up on stage and give out their appreciations that way as well. Let me check stage chat real quick. Here it was someone's birthday. Not sure whose it is what Gray's talking about, but whoever's it is, happy birthday. If it is Gray's, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Gray. Very happy birthday to you. Very happy to have you here in the community. You're one of the great contributors that constantly selflessly give a lot of their time and effort, and we appreciate you for that, as well as we appreciate you being your birthday. Willie says never a dull day in crypto. Very true. Mogi, GM.
Hey, never was that. I jumped up on here.
Hey, go ahead, Josh GM. Haven't seen you in a minute.
Go for it. Yeah, I was at the MCon conference all last week, which was super awesome. I just wanted to happy birthday, Gray, and I wanted to appreciate Willie Fox. We got together for lunch today. I saw him a bunch last week at MCon. Super great to be able to be close to some Foxes, but I just appreciate Willie and everything Willie, pretty much. That's my appreciation. Thank you.
Definitely, Josh. We all second that. Willie is definitely a huge part of everything that happens here within the DAO and everything else. I'm sure he is very involved in a lot of things in crypto, so we all appreciate that. Thank you, Josh, as always, for you being so vocal and outspoken with your appreciations and willingness to give that to others. So thank you. I would second that always with Willie as well. Willie is tireless. I know when I was on, I'm in a different time zone, but I was on very early this morning. Willie was, still at it from yesterday, still very involved in trying to deal with, any issues that might have came up for users. Was very involved in kind of just getting the ball started, tagging people and getting the conversation going this morning. And then a few hours later, I don't know if he even slept, he jumped back in and he was at it again. So yeah, definitely appreciate that. On that similar note, I would definitely give appreciations out to the engineering team, operation support, and everyone that have been kind of dealing with some issues today within the platform. We've been going back and forth and working on these things, and uh, I know Apotheosis, who's in the audience, was very much involved very early in the morning as well. I know I've seen most of the names that are here on, within this call that have been very much involved in helping, get these things sorted out. So my appreciations to all of those that have been tirelessly and do every day tirelessly work towards our greater goal of building things here within the DAO. So thank you all for that. Let me check stage again, see if there's anything else there. Willie reciprocated that. And thank you, Josh. Appreciate you so much too, sir. Best mentor coach ever. So there you go. Some great appreciations there. Mogi embraced the gray. No need to cry, Willie. No need to cry. You do the work. Yeah, built different. Agree on that. And we got some cakes going on for Gray. So Gray, I hope you enjoy that. Let's see. I'll let everyone continue to type in there. And while they're doing that, I'm going to scroll down and see if there's anything in the Fox Props channel. It's been pretty quiet down there. So let me see. Let's see. We have a couple from a couple days ago. So I'll read these out for the community. S Crusher, Fox props to Willie for not only being the heart of the DAO. Here we go back to Willie. He's gonna really cry. Being the heart of the DAO for the last year plus, but for being the leader that we all appreciate, not only for the energy input, but ability to ensure that smooth operations and focus and product development continues through a relatively tough bear trend. Won't admit that it's bear market, still YOLO. So that's definitely something. And then we have appreciation back from Willie. Thanks, couldn't doubt without all of you amazing foxes. Really, the credit goes to you and everyone in the community. We're lucky to have the whole army of passionate, dedicated, and brilliant leaders in the DAO. Macro might be wrecked, but we've never been more bullish on ShapeShift. Fox props to you all. So Willie always turns it around and gives it back to the community. So that's another obvious trait that he's willing to share within that. So thanks, Willie, again. Appreciate Giantkin and the Mod Squad for never-ending work of keeping our community platform a great place to be. Of course, agreed. It is a tireless job. Those guys work around the shift. Well, those guys and gals work around the shift. The team is definitely tireless and trying to prevent anything and everything that could negatively impact the community, whether it be scammers or, just general people that are not willing to follow along in the community's mantras or, a type of what we're trying to come across as a community. So thank you, Mod Squad. All right. I think we can probably move on to the next thing here. We don't have a lot going on in the forum. It's been pretty quiet. I know we'll go through the current ideation proposals, and I know someone being very slick intentionally put an ending proposal right around like 2 minutes before this started. So I know that proposal ended and passed. I might not have the most updated numbers on it, but I'll give it a shout out to let people know that it did happen. Oops, sorry about that. My screen just acted up. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, everyone. Too many monitors and it just clicked on something else and it caused it to jump. Okay. So we have that proposal I was talking about, which was a proposal by PTT, and that was to endorse East Denver and that just ended, and looks like that it did pass in favor. So I don't think Ron needs. I don't think that the proposer PTT needs to come back up and talk about it. But if he wanted to, he can. Let me check stage. If he says anything. Oh, all right, we discussed this a little bit. Nothing to say. This is definitely something. If you guys are interested, guys and girls, the community attending East Denver, it's always a very close to home event for a lot of Shapeshift members. So take a read on that. Looks like that they'll have some options here for getting some visibility there within East Denver. So that's a good thing. Next, we have SCP 104. And this is something that we've spoke about for a couple weeks now. Went through the ideation process as well as some discussion beforehand. This is outsourced the DAO's responsible RDP program, the Responsible Disclosure Program, to Hack and Proof. There's been some definite constant adaptation that's been done to this. Ocean has been very proactive in ensuring that he's takes into account community response, and I have to definitely show appreciation for that. He's modified this when the community has kind of spoken about things and discussed it, and he's been able to keep this updated. So if you have not seen this or taken a look, please take a look at this and formulate your opinion for voting on this proposal. It definitely has some security merit, so I hope that we continue to keep that security mindset. So please feel free to take a look at it and vote. Vote with your fox, everyone. All right, that is the only live proposal, being that the one that just expired a couple minutes before this call started. But we do have some live ideation posts that are currently available for everyone to take a look at and to vote in different ways or offer different comments and try to get these to be representative of the community needs. So first one that I have here is ideation: create a new Fox XDAI regen farm to incentivize liquidity on Gnosis chain. I know that we have a current Fox honey regen farm currently running that is due to expire October 2nd, and this is a new proposal to get another option out there possibly for the DAO. And if you want to read about that, please feel free to take a look at our snapshot and check it out and see what this entails. If you're watching the slides, you do see some information there, a quick summary. Currently, there's some support for it here at 2.1 million. Do not see any no votes currently, or a third option of I don't support. I support it with changes. So everyone take a look at that when you have time, and use your Fox to vote for that as well. Don't see any hands raised, so I will move on to the next thing. Let me check stage chat real quick. Not much there as far as what I'm talking about. There's some conversation about other things, about Ethereum and stuff. But okay, guys, I'll let you guys continue those conversations, and I'll move on to the next live ideation proposal that is currently sitting on Snapshot. So this is pre-authorized 500,000 Fox purchase or creation of LP tokens. This proposer is Kent. Kent, if you're in the audience, yeah, I was just going to invite you up. Welcome up. I know you made some significant modifications to what this was previously on the forum, so I'll let you speak to that and kind of go over some of those changes and adaptations that you put in there for the community. GM, sir.
Hey, GM Nervous, how you doing today?
Oh, it's a fun day. It's a fun day.
It's a fun post-merge day, at least. I'm tired from staying up with the merge, but at least it turned out well. So that's good. Hey, I'm just looking at the stage chat. It looks like there's some ambiguity about ETH Denver invoice. PTT, you're wondering if we could reach out to ETH Denver and get an invoice. Yeah, let me know if you don't have that by Monday, and I will send it to the appropriate people at ETH Denver. So let's talk about this proposal that's currently in ideation. This is a modification. It's a bit of a weird beast right here. It's a modification of a proposal that in draft form was somewhat different, but the spirit of it is similar, and the scenario and situation surrounding it, the context is similar. So this has to do with the fact that the Fade Protocol tribe owns current or has control of 15.3 million Fox. This is related to the liquidity as a service arrangement that we had with them. As Fay Labs and Fay and Tribe aim to wind down, the community is trying to determine what to do with that Fox. Previously, the initial proposal was to authorize us, the DAO, to spend up to $500,000 worth of USDC on Fox. Or I should just say of stables on purchasing that amount of Fox. So basically we made an OTC offer directly to the community, but that did not pass their signaling proposal process. Subsequently, there were some other third parties that came in and offered Tribe more than that. So there were higher offers. The signaling proposal that won was actually just make it a pro rata distribution of Fox to all Tribe holders. Which probably wouldn't be a catastrophic thing. Could lead to some price pressure, but that would not lead to like all that Fox dumping on the market. However, there have been some whales like in their Discord saying, hey, why doesn't Tribe just dump all of that Fox at market? So this is still a scenario where all that Fox could hit the market very quickly. The concern here is, would this sharply reduce the price? Certainly, but we're not in the game of playing, trying to do like sort of a Ichi style market manipulation. It's like we're not trying to just prevent market dynamics from occurring. The concern here is that it could really reduce our liquidity in the Uniswap V2 pool to the extent that we might get like a out of control spiral in price action, and just having no liquidity could adversely impact the DAO's operations. So this proposal has shifted from that draft form over to it still would entail authorizing the TMDC at its discretion to purchase up to $500,000 worth of Fox in the event that the actions of Tribe wound up taking out basically over. There's actually a specific precondition here, taking out at least 20% of the liquidity in that Fox to ETH V2 pool. So again, this is tied to liquidity and not price. So the upside of that is potentially we could mitigate the threat of a out of control price decline or liquidity hitting the liquidity reserves there. You might argue that, this is also a chance for the DAO to buy Fox. It may be you kind of sort of buy the dip. I would really caution against reading too much into that benefit, because if this bear market shows absolutely no sign of abating, and if the bear market continues, Fox will likely continue lower as well. So we don't want to get caught up in this idea of it's a victory for us to buy Fox at a relatively lower price, because we have plenty of Fox already. What we don't have enough of is stables. But despite that, I think there's certainly a case to be made for at least pre-authorizing this for the TMDC. This would not actually make any steps happen. It would merely give the TMDC the ability to do this on the DAO's behalf. Sorry if I'm a little long-winded here, but it's kind of detailed. So there's a little bit more nuance here. Ocean had made a really good suggestion that alternatively, since we're concerned about liquidity, we could simply take that $500,000 worth of stables and then pair it with Fox and create LP tokens to put into the Uniswap V2 pool. So that is an option that this also would pre-authorize the TMDC for. Of course, the impact on our runway, on our stablecoin treasury would be identical in this case, but the means by which we're aiming to halt a liquidity decline would, or sort of a protracted decline in liquidity would be somewhat different here. Also, I encourage you to look at Ocean's feedback in the forum related to basically summarizing what he said here is we're sort of, it's not a capital efficient approach to be, of course, on one end, we're continuing to raise stable coins via our bond sales. This would be aiming to buy back Fox. So there's sort of like, working at opposite ends here type of dynamic. I think the response to that would be that these are kind of like separate goals we're pursuing here, and also the impact of that capital inefficiency might be viewed potentially as a cost of this extra cost of this strategy, and one that at the end wouldn't really make a difference in the DAO's long-term operations, but certainly give that consideration. At the end of the day, really, it's like, if this does happen, taking off $500,000 from our stable stack is taking a month off of a runway. Basically we would be running out of stable coins in May rather than June of next year. Meanwhile, this bear market is brutal. Fox just hit all-time lows, and this is the sort of environment we're operating in here. But again, we want to be proactive in the event this does happen. The TMDC is pretty good at monitoring market conditions and reacting depending on what's happening. I think it's important for us to at least have this tool in our toolbox, us being the TMDC, if all that Fox is dumped on the market. It's also worth stressing this is just a one-time sort of authorization related narrowly to this particular case, trying to be very specific here. So currently, yeah, it is in ideation. I think it has another couple days, but this is this is potentially a big deal in terms of our finances. 500K is a substantial amount. So, we don't want to rush into this decision, looking for more community feedback. Let's see here. So, yeah, actually, that's a good point, Ocean. So, okay, if we deposited LP tokens, we could always potentially remove them later. That is a really good point that we hadn't really talked through yet. In our tokenomics calls. We'll have one today after the governance call. So yeah, I want to make sure that we're all very methodical about this. We're thinking through all the angles. The proposal in its current form would give us the ability to create those LP tokens. But I guess I don't want to hijack this. This is good fodder for tokenomics, and I think we can still talk about it coming up on Tuesday. But yeah, if anybody has any additional thoughts or ideas around this, please respond in the forum, the ideation post in the forum, or just jump into tokenomics into the channel. But thanks to everybody who's sort of contributed some thought to this so far.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for putting the thought into it as well. Don't mind giving you the time. This is a complex issue. Would rather have it communicated as effectively as possible to make sure the community can, have the information at hand to make those informed decisions. So thank you, Ken, as always, for, really trying to, express the intention of things and kind of give them the background information and try to thoroughly paint the picture for everyone in the community to understand any of these issues that we come across. And obviously this one has a lot of different layers of complexity involved, and it takes time to be able to look into these different things and peel them back and figure out all the different possibilities and outcomes that could arise. And even then we probably have a very limited idea of all the different things within crypto that can possibly happen. So thank you for your time and effort and coming up here and explaining those things to everybody.
Yeah, my pleasure. Never was. Thanks again.
No problem. Definitely, I took a look at while I'm there. There's a couple days left, like you said, it's 17th. So please, there's still time. Take a look, read it over, do your research, and find out, where you stand within this ideation phase, and give the feedback. That's the most important thing, as Ken said. Let's provide feedback. Let's express the community's desires through individuality, but also give the ability to for the community to see those things and rally around different situations and stuff. So your vote does matter in that regard, and please feel free to contribute. That is the last ideation thing that we have live. So after we talk about ideation, I know that Willie Fox has graciously spoken about this quite a bit to those who've been on these calls very frequently, but to some of the newer members that might be in the audience, we are changing our way that our governance kind of works currently, where we're going to have ideation and the forum in a new Web3 solution called Metaphoro. This passed a proposal and is in the process of basically ensuring that all of the needs of the community are represented within the application, and we can migrate effectively over to that and reduce any type of blips or concentration that might come from changing from one platform to the next, a couple of our governance process. So as of now, we do have a process from a proposal that was also passed recently, where our ideation does take effect on Snapshot. And we are very happy to have it there to where, the votes are counted, majority rule, to be able to, get that to move forward past ideation phase. But it is counted similar to our votes, with holders of Fox being able to, make that determination. And so this is going to happen soon. I don't have any direct dates yet, but it's in process. I know that there's a lot of different people involved in trying to make this to happen as seamlessly as possible. The mod squad is very much involved. We have community members like Willie Fox, really ensuring that he's in touch with the team over at Metaphoro, and working to get everything that we would like to have in the app. So there is effort going on there, and I'm sure once it's done, we will definitely see fruit from that, from those efforts. Let's see. Let me check the stage chat real quick before we move on anywhere else. We had some questions about some of the comments from Tribe and the situation with the excuse me, the liquidity as a service. Let's see. GK Jankin has given Metaphoro waiting on mod options. I asked for it to be added. Domain name forwarding working. I think one more item. So it sounds like Jankin feels that they're getting very close to being able to do this. And I'm sure once that is there, we will all be notified. There'll be an announcement that goes out and stuff, so we can make sure we are following along in the right place. We still have some discussion going on around the Rari or the Faye stuff, so I'll let that continue on stage chat. And let me see if there are any hands raised here in the audience. Looks like we're pretty good. All right, so next slide. There's not much else. The forum has been pretty quiet in discourse, the current location for our forum. And we haven't had many topics or threads in there recently. A lot of the ideation that was just kind of like progressing through the process and updates to that. So not much there that we can talk about. Today's been a very busy day, so I know everyone is busy. So if has anything they would like to bring up now, feel free. Any questions, if anyone would like to raise their hand and jump up on stage and talk about anything that we've already discussed, or maybe some other things that we didn't have the chance of discussing yet, now's a good time if you'd like to raise your hand and be invited up on stage for that. still have some discussion in stage chat. If anyone that is having the discussion in stage chat would like to jump up on stage and kind of talk through voice instead of typing, feel free to raise your hands. I can definitely invite you up if you would like to continue that discussion for a few minutes here. We do have the time for that. If not, we could probably wrap this call up and give everyone some time back. But do want to make the stage available to anyone if they choose to take me up on that. I don't see any hands raised, so might just be happy to asynchronously do that through the stage chat. Also, thank you, Giantkin. Want to remind that there is an anonymous question and feedback form that's available. I think Giantkin has provided that link a couple times for anyone who would like to fill that out. I don't have access to that to read the questions off if there are any in there, but I assume that the Mod Squad is keeping track of that and ensuring that any question that was asked there, they would post it here. So I would just look for it on the stage chat, which is perfectly fine. Still no hands, so quiet. I'm probably going to wrap up the call. Yes, Giant, and I know you watch, you see everything. You're the gatekeeper. With that, everyone, I will wrap up today's call. As stated, this was call number 57 of our weekly governance calls. Thank you, everyone, for attending. As always, see you within the community, and let's keep building. Thanks, everyone. GM.